at the house of young cricketer Laura Wolvaardt.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. No, it's good to be talking to you, and we're excited to talk cricket with you. But first, would you just tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm 17 years old. I'm currently a grade 11 student at Parklands College. I play cricket, obviously, and it's a bit difficult right now balancing the school and the cricket, but I'm managing so far because I do it for the love of the game.
That's great. And tell us a little bit about school and academics. Obviously, you will be spending a lot of time on cricket, but at the same time, you're in grade 11, you've got exams that you're writing right now.
Yes.
You've obviously got to split a lot of your attention. How are you managing to do that?
I take my school very seriously. My academics is very important to me, so I always make sure that is my number one priority. I do everything I can to make sure that I study enough for everything. I don't like going into a test unprepared. And I take physics and biology at school and French, and those are quite study subjects and they take a lot of time and effort. But right now it's working out. What I do is I do things in sections. So I have 3 weeks of cricket tours, and then I don't really think about school. And then when I come back, I catch up everything, and then it's just school for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I find that works best than trying to be on tour and then study in my off time, because then I'm not 100% focused on the game. So I normally just leave it until I get back, and then rather have a bit of a stressful time in those 2 weeks.
And when did it start for you? When did it switch on? Did you pick up a bat and a ball and realize I can play this game?
Yeah, well, I was 5 years old at school, and I was friends with all of the boys. And then when we got to grade 0, grade R, they started playing mini cricket at school. And then I joined them because I wanted to be with my friends, and I actually really liked it, and I sticked with it, and yeah, I'm still enjoying it today. So,
who inspired you? Is there a particular cricketer, team, maybe it was a certain World Cup, where you really realized, this is possibly a career I'd like to make?
Well, I think my favorite cricket player growing up was always Herschelle Gibbs. I don't know why, but I was very little and I didn't know much about cricket, but he always seemed to hit the ball very far. So he was my favorite, and I always try to bat like him, and I went to all of the autograph sessions of the Proteas and followed him around and visited him at matches, and he just really inspired me to play the game more. And then obviously once he retired, I think AB obviously has become the cricketer that I look up to. But in the women's game there have been numerous role models that I've looked up to as well, and many of them are now my teammates, which is a little bit surreal. But yeah, it's crazy. It's just such an amazing experience getting to play with people who I looked up to for so long. And I arrived there at my first camp and I knew who everyone was, but no one knew who I was. So it took a while for me to kind of prove myself and to get on the same level. But they seem, now they're just like my teammates, but I still have massive respect for all of them.
What was that first game like, making your debut for senior women's Protea team?
I was very, very nervous. I remember my feet not moving properly, and I was like, what am I doing? But a few balls in, it settled down a bit. I just really enjoy batting. So I was just like, okay, just think about, this is batting, this is what you love doing. And then it kind of settled and it was okay. And by the second match, it was fine. But especially that morning when we had to sing the national anthem before the game, then I was feeling it a bit, but I was definitely excited as well.
And your favorite ground around the world?
Well, I haven't really played that much around the world. We recently toured to Ireland, so that was my first time playing outside of South Africa. But I think in South Africa, my favorite ground has to be Newlands, because it's the hometown and the mountain in the background, so that one's amazing.
And right now, one batsman that you watch on the world circuit outside of South Africa's team players,
okay,
that you keep your eyes on, that you watch just for his or her technique?
I always like watching Steve Smith bat. I don't know, he always looks like I don't understand how he hits the ball the way he does. He flicks balls from outside off stump to fine leg, and it's crazy. He's insanely good.
As long as he doesn't bat like that against the Proteas.
Yeah, that's true. But then it's okay.
What kind of batsman would you currently say you are?
Well, at club level, I like to be on top of the bowlers and scoring quickly, and there I bat pretty quickly. But at the SA level, I'm still, my strike rate isn't at 100% where I want it to be. But yeah, I like being on top of the bowlers and being aggressive up front because I open the batting. So it's always nice to give the team a good start in the first power play and everything.
And where do you see yourself growing into? What kind of batsman? Where do you see yourself going in the years to come in terms of being more well-rounded? I don't know if the women's game will move into Test and 5 days. I know you're playing a lot of T20 and ODI at the moment, but where do you see yourself developing, having had such an early start, if you like?
Well, right now I haven't played too many 2020s for South Africa, but I've started in the ODI team and I've opened the batting in a few games so far, and that's been going pretty well. I'm really enjoying it. I always open, that's my favorite thing, because you face the most balls, so you have a chance of scoring the most runs. And it's always guaranteed that you're going to bat, because I hate sitting on the side not knowing when. But I think the next stage for me would be to develop my 2020 game a bit more, because it seems like a lot of the development is going in that direction. So if I can solidify a spot in the T20 side, that would be great.
Fantastic. And just your advice to young cricketers, let's talk especially young girls coming through school. If they want to be involved and get into the game and find a pathway like yourself, what do they do?
I think, well, right now there aren't too many young girls school teams, but I know that in the area here as well, we have a lot of women's club teams and anyone can join. So if you're interested, maybe play with the boys at school in primary school and then join the women's club. And then once you get to the women's club, they will direct you to trials and Western Province Under 19 trials. And so that would be the way to go. But it's important that you don't give up, even though it may seem like a long way to travel or a long way to go. And it seems like a big ladder to climb. It's all worth it in the end. And once you get here and you're living your dream, it's really amazing.
And what do you need as a teenager in today's society to carve out a career in anything, really, to be as focused as you obviously are right now?
I think, it is important to have a good support system around you. And it's definitely, you can't go and party all night and everything, especially if your morning practice is the next day. And you have to be on top of your work and your cricket, and you have to be very organized. And it takes a lot of hard work to combine everything. And you will have to make sacrifices, like a few parties every now and then. But it's all worth it. I really enjoy the cricket, so I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, well, we at Game On and the team and everyone else, I'm sure, will be wanting to follow your career and watch you go all the way. And so all the best with exams and the year to come. And from everyone at Game On, thanks for your time, Laura.
Thank you so much for having me.